Rewriting Your Story: The Power of Leaving the Past Behind. Have you ever looked at your reflection and wondered who's staring back at you? Not physically, I mean the person beneath the skin, behind the eyes, the one carrying yesterday's weight while trying to walk into tomorrow. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of sitting down with Toccara Williams, a woman whose very existence challenges how we think about our past experiences. If you haven't encountered her work yet, prepare to have your world shifted on its axis. Toccara isn't just a comedian, she's a philosopher disguised in punchlines, a healer wielding the medicine of laughter. Her ability to transform life's darkest moments into sources of illumination has quite literally saved lives. People regularly approach her after shows to whisper, "Your words gave me permission to live again." Our conversation was nothing short of transformative, and today I'm honored to share what I learned from this modern day alchemist who turns pain into purpose with such stunning precision that you can't help but believe in magic again. Here's something profound Toccara taught me. We spend so much time being archaeologists of our own lives, digging up old bones, dusting off ancient artifacts of pain, cataloging every failure, rejection, and heartbreak like they're precious exhibits in the museum of why I can't move forward. But what if, and this is where Takara's genius truly shines, we became architects instead? What if we used the raw materials of our past not as anchors dragging us backward, but as building blocks propelling us forward? That's what today is about. That's what Toccara Williams embodies in her work and life, the radical act of refusing to be defined by what came before. When I first heard Toccara tell her story, I was struck by how she transformed her early career rejections into the very material that now sells out comedy venues nationwide. This brilliant Black comedian faced what could have been career ending setbacks, industry gatekeepers who couldn't see her value, personal losses that threatened to silence her voice, and the kind of self doubt that doesn't just whisper but screams, "Maybe you're not good enough," at 3 a.m. when the rest of the world is sleeping. But here's what makes Takara extraordinary. Instead of letting those experiences define her ceiling, she turned them into her floor. She took those painful moments and wove them into comedy routines that now heal others while making them laugh until they cry. I had to decide, she told me during our interview, her eyes reflecting both the pain and triumph of that choice. Whether my past was going to be my prison or my platform, she chose platform. And now her TikTok videos go viral. She headlines national tours, and she's become a beacon for young Black creatives who see in her the permission to transform their own pain into purpose. But this isn't just about Toccara, this is about all of us. Because let's be honest, especially for Black women, the past isn't just personal, it's generational, it's systemic, it's the weight of expectations to be stronger, better, perfect. It's the superwoman cape we never asked for but somehow inherited. And that cape, it's heavy, it's exhausting. It's keeping us from the softness we deserve. I see this pattern repeating in so many brilliant lives. Take Issa Rae, for example. Before she became the cultural icon we know today, she was just a young Black woman with a web series called The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. Traditional media repeatedly told her there wasn't an audience for authentic stories about Black women's experiences. Can you imagine if she had let those rejections define her future? If she had accepted that limiting narrative? Instead, Issa built her own platform. She refused to let prior failures dictate her next moves. She left behind the industry skepticism and created space for her creativity and her confidence to flourish. The result? Insecure became a cultural phenomenon on HBO. Golden Globe nominations, Emmy wins, and perhaps most importantly, she created Hooray Media Company, opening doors for other underrepresented voices who might otherwise have remained unheard. This is what happens when we refuse to let yesterday's limitations become tomorrow's ceiling. Or consider Tristan Walker. For years, he struggled to find grooming products suitable for his skin type, a challenge many Black men face due to an industry that has historically overlooked their needs. He could have accepted this as just the way things are. Instead, he founded Walker and Company brands and launched Bevel, a shaving system specifically designed for coarse hair textures and melanin-rich skin. He turned his frustration into innovation. His company was later acquired by Procter and Gamble, a multi-million-dollar testament to what happens when you refuse to accept the limitations of the past. Now I can already hear some of you thinking, that's nice for them, but my past is different. My pain is different. My obstacles are different. And you're right. Your story is uniquely yours. But here's what Toccara Williams taught me that changed everything. The power isn't in the specific details of your past. The power is in your decision about what those details mean for your future. Let me say that again because it's worth repeating. The power isn't in what happened to you. The power is in what you decide those experiences mean about what's possible for you now. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending bad things didn't happen. It's not about dismissing trauma or systemic barriers. Those are real, those are valid. This is about refusing to let those realities be the final word on your story. During my conversation with Toccara, she shared something so profound it nearly stopped my heart. She said, healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls your life. That's the invitation before us today. Not to erase our past, but to stop allowing it to erase our future. So, what does this look like in practice? How do we actually leave the past behind? First, we have to recognize that our brains are natural historians. They love to collect evidence from our past to support whatever story we're telling ourselves. If the story is, I always get rejected, your brain will helpfully catalog every rejection you've ever faced set while conveniently forgetting all the times you were accepted. This isn't because your brain is working against you. It's because your brain is trying to protect you by preparing you for more of the same. It's a survival mechanism, but one that often outlives its usefulness. The good news, you can retrain this historian. You can teach it to collect different evidence. You can show it how to interpret the past in ways that empower rather than limit you. Toccara Williams did this through comedy. She literally reframed painful experiences through the lens of humor, finding the absurdity, the humanity, and yes, even the gifts within her struggles. Issa Rae did it by creating her own platform when traditional ones rejected her. She refused to accept other people's limitations as her own. Tristan Walker did it by turning his frustration into innovation, using his past experiences not as proof of what couldn't be done, but as inspiration for what needed to be created. What might this look like for you? Maybe it means finally forgiving yourself for that mistake you've been punishing yourself for years. Maybe it means recognizing that the rejection wasn't about your worth, but about their limitations. Maybe it means acknowledging that, yes, that painful experience shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you. As Toccara would say, Your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. This is especially crucial for Black women who have been conditioned to carry everyone else's burdens while minimizing their own needs. The past has taught many of us that our value lies in our strength, our resilience, our ability to endure. But what if our value actually lies in our softness, in our joy, in our ability to rest and receive? What if the most revolutionary act isn't pushing through pain, but allowing ourselves to heal from it? This is what the soft girl era is truly about. Not a trend, but a reclamation, a return to the softness that was always our birthright before the world taught us to armor up. So here's my challenge to you today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Identify one limiting belief or regret that's tied to your past. Write it down, look at it, maybe even laugh at its hold over you, channeling a bit of Toccarra's comedic perspective. Then make a commitment, publicly or privately, that you will no longer allow this belief to steer where you're headed next. Because here's the truth that I want to burn into your consciousness before you leave this room. You are not the sum of what happened to you. You are the sum of how you transformed it. Your past may have built the stage, but you are writing the script. Your history may have provided the instruments, but you are composing the melody. Your wounds may have created the canvas, but you are painting the masterpiece. And if there's one thing I've learned from Toccara Williams, from Issa Rae, from Tristan Walker, and from every person who has ever refused to be defined by their yesterday, it's this: the moment you stop seeing your past as your identity and start seeing it as your material, that's when your life becomes a work of art. So I ask you, what masterpiece will you create with the raw materials of your life? What story will you tell with the chapters you've already lived? What future will you build on the foundation of your past? The world is waiting. Not for the person you once were, not for the person others told you to be, but for the person you are becoming, the architect of your own destiny, the author of your own redemption, the artist of your own liberation. Your past brought you here, but it doesn't get to decide where you go next. That power belongs to you today, right now. And from here, my friends, anything truly is possible.